Hi everyone, my name is Dr. Connor Robertson, and today I want to talk to you a little bit about PadSplit and co-living and how that's going to help shape the future of America. One of the things that's happening right now is that housing has become less and less affordable over the last 5 years post-COVID, and so what we're seeing is there is a substantial amount of problems with people who want to transition from either the educational system into the working environment, or somebody who maybe has done a career change, or somebody who's recently gone through a divorce or something like this, and their income is not really where they would like it to be, and so they can't really afford to have a single apartment. Depending on where you look in the US, you have apartments that are ranging anywhere from $1,500 to $2,000 to $3,000 for a single bedroom, and the problem is that that's not really accessible for most people. And so there are platforms out there, these co-living platforms, similar to PadSplit and some of these other platforms, where you are able to rent by the room. If you look at platforms like Airbnb, they've tried the rent by the room space, but that's kind of more vacation rentals, and people associate Airbnb with the vacation market. And so for people who are looking for a furnished rental on a week-to-week or month-to-month basis and don't want to stay daily, they have to look at platforms like PadSplit and these other co-living environments. And so what we're seeing today is there's an absolute necessity for people who want to get into real estate to deliver this product to the marketplace. And the product's really simple. It's a single-family home that you can put more than 5 people into that are all individually not related to each other. And here's where it gets really, really interesting. Because they're not related to each other, you can rent by the individual room. So the business model fundamentally is purchase a property, let's say a 3, 4, or 5 bedroom place, and then you're gonna add additional bedrooms. And the reason you're gonna add additional bedrooms is because you want to be able to accommodate more people and reduce the cost. So if you think about a $4,000 a month mortgage, principal, interest, taxes, and insurance, PITI, if one person had to pay that, or a family had to pay that, that would be pretty challenging. But let's suppose you have 8 individual people, and now each of them can pay a portion of that $4,000. Now, of course, you as the operator need to be able to make a bunch of money as well, because this is not a nonprofit, this is a for-profit business model. So what you do is you buy the 4-bedroom, you convert it into 8 by doubling up the bedrooms and maybe adding a bathroom. And what happens is you take that property, and similar to all the other platforms, you list the property and the 8 individual rooms that go along with it. Now what ends up happening is people rent each of those rooms through the platform. They make a payment, usually about $250 per week, and they're able to stay there, use the furnished environment, share some space in the property, and they can get more affordable housing. Now, unlike Section 8, which is a government-based program, these co-living environments can be created by what we consider micro investors. These are people who have 1 or 2 or 3 pieces of real estate, and they absolutely would like to have an investment opportunity that actually cash flows, whereas long-term rentals are very hard to cash flow, short-term rentals have a lot of volatility. And so from a PadSplit standpoint, or any of these co-living platforms, what people are able to do is they're able to get the benefit on both sides. So the person who owns the property is gonna make a little bit of cash flow. The individuals renting the property are gonna be able to have affordable housing. And it's a win-win on both sides of the marketplace without having to have that government intervention like a Section 8 property. So for those of you who are considering trying to find a way to get into real estate and you think that that's a good wealth building strategy for you, maybe you could consider looking at PadSplits. You could look at co-living environments as a whole, and maybe start your first project where you can go out there, find a property, make a down payment, get a bank loan, convert that property over to something that's a little bit more suitable, and then launch it on an online platform where you can get that week-to-week bookings. If you want to learn more about that, I'm going to put out more content and explain that more in detail, written content, both for the individuals booking and for the people who'd like to get into this type of real estate. And I think this is the new wave over the next 5 years, from 2025 to 2030. I think you're going to see a massive amount of people in this space because it just makes sense.